What up, everyone? Welcome to PFC 225. Been a while since we did a remote session with the boys. You can catch this episode on YouTube. Um, let's go around and introduce ourselves for new listeners. We're getting new listeners all the time. I'm Tiki.
I'm Tom.
One of you.
Up world, this is Al. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm Haas.
Hey, last but not least, there he is. The
All
dramatic
right,
pause.
man. Midweek games are always a nightmare. It's tough to watch. A lot of you guys have jobs, working at the time. You're trying to, shrink your screen so you can have the game playing while you're working on spreadsheets and yada yada, all that good stuff. So we're here for you guys to discuss sort of the more, notable stories of the games, not necessarily exactly what happened. Obviously, we'll get into that as well, but there's more covering of the major items in the games this week. So let's open it up with the defending champions, Chelsea, playing at Stamford Bridge in front of their home crowd. It used to be a fortress. Fortress no more. Go down 3-0 to Bournemouth. Smacked. Blanked at home. Boys, what are your thoughts on this?
For me, it's crazy how up and down Chelsea have been in the last 4 years. You have Mourinho winning the league. Then at one point they were almost fighting for relegation. I know it was early on, but they finished 10th place. Then they come right back to win the league again. And then true that they've been bouncing in and out of the top four, but they just can't be consistent enough to just always be in the top 2 or 3. And again, when it comes down to Chelsea, if they just left the roster alone rather than just selling certain players or loaning certain players out, they would be in a better situation because they had enough money to bring people in and keep hold of some of the other players.
Well, that would require them to have a different philosophy, Hus. Just a completely different philosophy. They're a mercenary team. They bring players in to win titles every single year. And when you do that, there's no guarantee in chemistry. When you keep rotating coaches, philosophy changes every 2 to 3 years. And like you said, they'll win 1 year, next year, out of the Champions League, win again the next year, fighting for top 4. So as long as you have a philosophy like that where you don't try to bleed in your youth into the first team and you're just buying first-team stars, you're going to have guys like Zappacosta, you're going to have guys like Emerson, who's a new signing for them from Roma. You have to merge and try make guys like that work.
I think that's definitely a factor, Tom, but I think the bigger factor is Conte, man. It's almost self-capitulation at this point. He said he's want to go back to Italy. He wants to go home. He said that back in the fall. But I've criticized him, not that I know anything, but he fielded 8 defensive players against Bournemouth. The only attacking players he had was Barkley, Pedro, new boy Barkley, and Hazard as the number 9, having just sold Batshuayi. But 3 attacking options against Bournemouth at home. You go with 8 defenders, including Courtois. 7 defensive players on the field, outfield players. What are you doing? This guy wants to lose. He wants to get fired.
But this goes even further than just fielding those players. This also gets down to him having a problem with Diego Costa, and now him having a problem with David Luiz, because Bournemouth, they came out that they said that they know that Chelsea had weaknesses, and there's rumors that Gary Cahill was the problem or is the weak link, or Bournemouth thinks so, and they went after him, and guess what? It worked. Now if David Luiz in there instead of him, yes, he is one of those players that is high risk, high reward. But does that high reward, is there more pros and cons with David Luiz than Gary Cahill?
Are we talking high highs and low lows? Where we at, us? Tell me.
My thing is you're at home. You should be aggressive. You definitely should be aggressive at home. You're at the bridge, man. Stamford Bridge, like you said, was known for being a fortress, not allowing any goals, retaining clean sheets, and getting W's there. All of a sudden, their philosophy is just so negative, man. Like, I don't see Antonio Conte making it to the end of the season. Maybe I'm jumping the gun early on this, but the way it's all sort of devolving, it's no bueno, man. It's no bueno.
Yeah, man, you can see it. Like Al was saying, he was talking about him dreaming of going to manage in Italy again, and how it's tough to settle in England. He's complained about not having his players. He didn't want Morata. He wanted Lukaku. Couldn't get Lukaku. it's essentially this is Abramovich's team, man. I don't know why he's not the one on the sidelines coaching this team because he's like Jerry Jones for the Cowboys. He doesn't let the managers do a thing. They kind of get lucky.
Jerry Jones.
Win. He really is. They kind of get lucky when they win, and I don't want to take it away and just throw it all on luck. But what I mean by luck is they hit that spark of chemistry that you can put together for a year, but after that it falls apart. Similar to like a Leicester being able to put it together for one season. Chelsea's becoming that yo-yo team, except their budget is bigger. So instead of finishing mid-table, they'll finish maybe top 4, top 6, whereas a Leicester would finish lower. So Tom, I'm with you, man. I don't think you're jumping the gun. I think this guy is on his way out, and I think Bakayoko as well, man. He's not a flop. He's having those first-year blues where he's not bringing that dynamicism that we saw at Monaco. Now, could that be that League One is weak? Yeah, possibly. It's also first-year EPL blues, but he's really not as dynamic. His touch is raw at times. I don't know if it's nerves or what, but missing Cesc Fabregas through injury for so long has really hurt this team.
He just came. Go ahead.
When it comes down to big-time managers at big-time clubs, there's a few words that come to mind, but when it comes down to it, consistency, as we said, trophies. But when it comes down to it, it's the talent that they bring in. Because 3-4 years ago, or let's say 4 or 5 years ago, Chelsea, they're doing well. They're actually even 2 years ago when they had all these star-studded players. Olivier Giroud coming to Chelsea? No,
bro, that's what they're looking for.
Don't sleep on Giroud, man.
I'm not sleeping, but that you're telling me that when they had Drogba and those guys, you're telling me that Olivier Giroud should be on that type of team when they're out there winning the Premier League. This guy should not be on this team.
Yeah, he's a French international, bro.
Whoa, Hussey, hold on.
Giroud. Go ahead, Al.
Hold on, dude. Hussey, let's go by the numbers. Let's go by stats. All right, your favorite game to play. All right, you ready for this? All right. Since he joined Arsenal in 2012, he first season 11 goals, second season 16, then 14, 16 again, 12. This year he's got 4. The guy barely
this is
plays.
all from the
puts
bench.
up numbers. From the bench, garbage time. Not really getting chances, but still scoring. This guy scores over 10 goals a season, and he never plays. So for Chelsea to sign him,
but at the same time, you
9.
have a short memory. You have a short memory.
By the way,
when he was coming off the bench, yes, he was doing well, and that's what he'll hopefully be doing for Chelsea. But when he was starting for Arsenal, how many Arsenal fans were telling him to get out, leave London, because they didn't like the way he was playing?
Exactly. Because he's not a starter.
No. He is a starter, just not on Arsenal because they play like a Liverpool fast-paced soccer. I think this guy was missing a club. He's lucky to find Chelsea in this weak spot where Morata has got question marks around him. They got rid of Batshuayi. This guy is going to be the starter, and he's going to get a chance to prove over a long period of time, the next 4 months or so, to prove if he's about this life, as Tom would say. I think this is a perfect move for him. I think he's been underrated at Arsenal because of the way they play, that quick touch, moving around. It doesn't suit him. He needs the kind of team that's going to lob it up to him. He's got the second best chest strap in the world outside of Fellaini. But the dude holds it up so well. Now, what he's not really good at are those layoff passes. Once he has possession.
He is, dude.
He lives for the flicks.
That's one of his strengths, man, is the flicks.
He's improved. No, he's improved, man. He's improved, but it's not where it should be for a guy who controls the
trust me, that's one of Giroud's strong spots. I've been watching this guy for a long time. I've been hating on him for a long time. I'm glad he's gone from Arsenal. I just don't like him going to a rival in Chelsea. But Chelsea need him. But beyond Chelsea, man, we're talking a lot about Chelsea. We gotta give props to the Cherries, man, who came in and thrashed them 3-0. Callum Wilson, goal and an assist. These guys are doing work, man. And, Eddie Howe's got these boys playing a little bit better now. And we'll see where they go. I was glad to see Nathan Ake, they'll score against Chelsea. It's what you get, Chelsea, for selling a quality player like that.
I love it, man.
And Chelsea he did celebrate. And he celebrated.
No, he should celebrate, man. They loan you out. They have you. They loan you out. Then they bring you back just to not play you, and then they sell you eventually. So I'm glad he's on Bournemouth. And Bournemouth, man, Eddie Howe's got him in 10th place. They're mid-table right now. So, they're punching well above their weight for where they're at.
Yeah, I got no beef with him celebrating. You know me, I'm a little sensitive about celebrations, but when a club treats you like crap, dude, do the Adebayor, run half the field and go celebrate in front of those fans. Let's move on to the next game. I don't really want to talk much about this one, but it's all good. I'll take my licks. Al and I will take our licks. Tottenham 2, Man United 0 in a game that should have probably been like 5 or 6, maybe 5 or 6-1.
You guys played like crap.
Awful.
Man United was terrible this game. And you could tell right away because Spurs scored 10 seconds into the game. It was just high school defending. And really, it was just a direct long ball from Vertonghen. Now, there's been controversy about this goal because Harry Kane initially got a head start.
VAR.
When the whistle was blown, the players had not quite kicked the ball to move it forward. And Harry Kane
to
move it backwards again. Yeah, Harry Kane was already sorry, I'm living in the 80s. Harry Kane was already in the opponent's half. So I don't care about all that stuff. I think that's semantics.
Look, it's extremely semantics. But those are the kind of things VAR is going to catch. It doesn't excuse that Spurs won the ball twice and Eriksen was allowed to shoot the ball basically from inside the 6. There's no excuse.
Whose fault was it?
Whose fault?
Whose fault was the goal?
Matic for not tracking Eriksen. But you can say Phil Jones.
That's how I know you can for sure.
You can say Phil Jones for not winning that ball, and then the second ball as well, not being cleaned out, not being awake. They were saying that this is a tactic that Spurs uses. Mourinho came in the press conference after the game and said it was a shocking goal. It's a goal we prepared for. We know Spurs does this all the time. We worked on it. We trained on it. So it's Jones being switched off, Matic being switched off. It's amateur stuff, like you're saying, Tom. It's high school.
You know, and that goal aside, man, United would never really in this game. Couldn't make 10 passes in a row if they tried.
I would say this. Sorry, man. I would say this. Right after that first goal, United looked dangerous. Lukaku and Lingard had a couple of chances, but that was for like 5 minutes, and then Spurs owned the rest of the game.
I agree with you, Tiki, because if that ball doesn't flick off Lingard's heel and he can finish that, it's a 1-1 game, 2.5 minutes in. It's a different game right there.
Yeah. Go ahead, Al.
No, it's just that early goal, man, going behind early, then we played right into Spurs' hand. You had no hope against the Spurs side. Wembley hoodoo, no, non-existent. But United and Jose, man, just get the tactics wrong. I get that Sanchez is a new signing, man, but you play him. But the Pogba and Matic pairing has to stop. And
you know what it is?
The deep line, it has to stop.
They have to get under Herrera, and then in the summer they have to get. I saw a rumor, but I see this rumor every transfer window. Vidal at Bayern coming to United. That's the kind of guy you need behind Pogba, man. When he was doing work, it was Vidal and Pirlo. Obviously, Pirlo doesn't have legs, but he plays a deeper position so he can cover. And Vidal was just a workhorse. Now, if you have Matic, the workhorse, Vidal, who scores goals, he's a defensive mid with goals in him. You can push him up, maybe play him a little bit like Fernandinho is currently playing at Man City. Then you get that Pogba freedom. But having Lingard, Pogba, and Matic, I think he was trying to keep the continuation going, and that's what screwed us. Usually, Mourinho in these big games, he locks the door. And, that game showed why he does it. If he puts Anda, Matic, and Pogba and tells Anda and Matic to sit, then that game's different. Obviously, Lingard would have to be out of the squad. So it was tough because Lingard was hot. He didn't want to mess with him, but Lingard and Pogs.
This was the best lineup he could have put out there, guys. Like, if you look at it, you have an on-form Lingard, Pogba, Matic holding it down. Lukaku, new signing Alexis Sanchez, Martial on the right, and so
it wasn't the right formation for the team they were playing. Exactly. Spurs plays with 2 number 10s in Ali and Eriksen, and oftentimes they'll play on the same side to overload a side. That's how they get so much Joga Bonito freedom going. So to counter Spurs, you need 2 D mids to basically account for Ali and Eriksen, who have free roles all over the pitch. That was the mistake. I hear what you're saying.
But
that's
here's
what I'm
the thing,
saying. He struggled because he was playing the hot hand, of course, but you're playing away from home. You're playing a Spurs team who plays a certain way. He got it wrong, in my opinion, but I don't blame him either because he wasn't.
I think your midfield just let you down. I don't think Pogba and Matic were nowhere near tight enough. Like, I see what you're saying with Ander Herrera, but I wouldn't.
You know why Matic wasn't tight?
Selection.
You know why Matic wasn't tight? Because it was 2 or 3v1 every time.
Absolutely,
so
man.
I don't even blame Matic, dude. I blame Pogba and Lingard And instead of Lingard, a number 10 who plays even further than Pogba, you put Anda. Then you have two number 6s playing with Pogba playing number 8. We don't play with a number 10. Alexis Sanchez can come off the wing and fill that 10 spot. Then the lineup is better for matching up with Tottenham. But again, I'm saying hindsight's easier. He was playing the hot hand, so I don't fault him too much. Lingard was coming in hot, scoring all kinds of bangers. He just tried to keep continuation going, pulled off Mata for Alexis Sanchez, which I don't blame him for. He just got it wrong, but it doesn't make him, crazy or bad manager.
I'll tell you where it went wrong.
I don't blame Jose too much, man. Like the team he put out was fine. It comes down to Paul Pogba, man. If you play him in his preferred position, like against Everton, he'll have a ball in game. But you ask him to do a simple job. Yeah, stay in front of the defense, be disciplined. Stay tight to Matic. Do your job. Don't go doing flicks. Don't go high up the field, man. Just
don't dribble.
Be conservative. Be conservative. Don't dribble. And his discipline is shocking. It's absolutely shocking, man. I know it's not a position, but dude, you got to do the job. You got to give up your pride and put it in for 90 away from home.
So is he playing him out of position then? Because essentially, what you've just said there is just Pogba, don't use your best qualities.
I think it's out of role, not position, because he was playing center mid, but his role is usually more attacking center mid. He's on the other side of number 8. Versus a Lampard who would do the defensive work and arrive late. They're both number 8s. But I think, like Al is saying, because he has to do so much defensive work, by the time he wins the ball, he's in his half. Usually he prefers to receive it at half, hold someone off, turn, and then lay in Morata or Higuain or whoever he has. He wasn't able to do that because when we did win it, he was, well in our final third, and he's trying to turn people and hold on to the ball. And obviously Spurs is a high-press team.
Yeah, Tiki, I agree with you with the Anda Herrera. Put him in there. Every time that he's playing, what I'm saying is when he plays, he produces. Yes, he had a couple of bad matches this year, but at the same time, you have to have faith in him. You really do, because if he's in there with Matic, Pogba, just stay up the field. Just do your thing. And the thing is, you say, oh, he's not disciplined. He's a 24-year-old who loves doing these moves, these flicks. You're taking away his heart. You're taking away the soul of this player. Let that type of player run wild.
One game, man. He plays higher up when he can. But in this game, I think he should go with Under in the midfield also with Matic. But in this game, he didn't.
That's
how it starts.
It's like going to work. It's like going to work in the office and be like, hey, I got you. You have to file these papers today. I know you're an accountant or I know you're whatever, but you got to do this today. You just got to do your job for that one day, man.
I 100% agree with you, man. It's not asking for a lot. A guy you're paying $200K, one game, suck it up, do the defensive work. It's not asking a lot.
I don't care you don't want to do it, man. And how many times have we seen Jose pull Mo to the side, not just this game, but multiple games, because he's confused. It's like, where am I supposed to be, coach?
That's because that's the type of play he is. I've never heard of Babe Ruth trying to bunt. But the thing
don't be doing cross-reference sports from 100 years ago, dude. That's an exceptional one. Holy hell!
Right.
That was crazy. Babe Ruth had a bunt. That was great.
But the thing is with Paul Pogba, yes, he's confused because that isn't his role. Don't make him be something that he is not.
Dude, I
think we're discovering that Pogba is a much better attacking player than he is defensive. I think we always knew that he was a better attacking player. I just think that we believe that the defensive side of the game was a little bit closer. I think we're now seeing that Pogba is a number 10, not a number 8.
I agree with you to a point, but I'm not going to say he's a bad defensive player because if you put him in that middle role, he can clog up a lot of space because he's so athletic. Defensively, he's good, but being in the center there, I think he loses track because he wants the goal. He wants to go forward. So
undisciplined.
To a point, undisciplined to defensively because he just wants that goal that much. Because
that's the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah,
don't want a goal? No, that's the coach's fault for put him in that situation. Don't make him defensive first.
Yeah, we'll see how it develops during the season. I think he just has to pick his spots. Certain games he's gonna have to sit. Certain games he's gonna have to attack. But let's talk about.
Biggest mistake Mourinho made was starting Phil Jones. Why would you do it?
Why would you do
it? This guy's a bum.
The guy's been starting all year for United when he's been healthy. United has had 7 clean sheets since December 26, 2017.
How many?
It was
Yeah, we're
bound
in
to
this year.
happen.
We're in 2018, bro.
We haven't given up any all
Was
year except Tottenham.
Except the own goal. Because Phil Jones is a fraud out here. He's not a true Man United starter. He's a rotational player. Yes, you got to get Eric Bailly back, who's injured.
Are you serious, Tom?
But next to Eric
right
Bailly, you need a better guy than Phil Jones and a better
Just
guy
'cause
than
it
Chris
looks
Smalling.
Tom, just because it looks ugly doesn't mean it's not effective, man. This guy's been every time he's on a win percentage. He's like Carrick. People say Carrick upgrade, blah blah blah. Obviously, this year's a different story, but historically, when he's in, we win because he does that thankless job. Now, am I sitting here saying Sergio Ramos and Phil Jones should be rubbing shoulders? No, dude. Like, Phil Jones is what he is. I have no problem with Phil Jones starting. I got no beef.
All
with
I'm
it.
saying
He's
is
been-
he's not
he's
a
been
Man
dynamite.
United starter. He's not a starter, bro.
I think he's a.
Tom,
If you
Have
guys
you
want
seen-
to
have you-
take it,
He's better than Koscielny.
I've watched him
I'll
out.
tell you that much.
I've watched them out.
Better than Koscielny.
He's not. He's not. Especially with the recent dip in form from Koscielny, they're about even. But when they're both at the peak of their games,
Oh
we all
my
know
God.
Koscielny's. We all know Koscielny's better.
Fair enough.
What I will say though
problem.
is, you guys
I'm gonna leave it.
just raise your standards. You guys are used to being bad right now because you've lost Fergie.
Look at
You used
that
to have
smile.
this
We're not used to being
illustrious
bad. We've
air
had
about you guys.
we've
Nah,
had the
you
best defense for the last
are.
3 seasons, except one of the seasons when Tottenham won. We've had the best defense.
Because of your goalie. If you did not have
not
David De
because of-
Gea that making special saves, you would be exposed.
Dude, it's
you
not
would be.
every.
He's bailing these guys out. I'm not saying Phil Jones is bad. What I'm saying is he's a fraud because he's not a Man United starter.
Fraud?
son.
Now he's a fraud.
Yeah,
He's not a Man
that's
United
crazy.
starter.
Not
Let's
even
talk
suspect.
about
He's straight to
potential-
fraud.
That's my
Let's talk
hot
about
take, son.
suspect.
That's my hot take.
Let's
No,
talk about
I like Phil
suspects.
Jones.
Let's keep it moving. Let's
Right.
talk about Phil Joe.
Oh, yeah, you wanted to.
Suspect guy. The other suspect guy, Lukaku, struggling against top 6 again.
Ooh, Lukaku. I mean, Tiki and I, we brought it up. Sometimes he just disappears. He's like a ghost. Oof, where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where's Lukaku? You never know where he is.
He had no support, man. He had no support. I think Martial's the biggest disappearing act of the day. You know, even his work rate in the dying moments was nowhere to be found. Put Rashford. You should have had Rashford start this game and have him run his socks off.
Now, what do you think about Martial's body language? Was that just like typical, that's Martial's face, or did you see something extra this game?
Dude, he played
That's
90 minutes. He played out of position for the first half an hour. They put him into his left mid. I think that's just Martial's face.
Classic.
He's got the bitch
Classic
face, man.
Martial face.
The resting bitch face, man. It's just the way he rolls.
I don't know if I call it a bitch face.
I've never
More
seen a
chill
guy
face.
with that. I've
He's
never
got
seen a
the
guy with that.
he's got the dead fish eyes.
Yeah, he
You
looks
know,
like
he's
he's
just
high.
expressionless. Oh yeah, permanently fried.
Dude, a guy who is, really suffering right now, catching a lot of heat, media speculation, played a full 7 minutes. Fellaini getting subbed on.
Hard
subbed
7
off.
minutes.
What are your thoughts on this guy?
Well, dude, first of all, wrong substitution. We're down 2 goals. You bring on Fellaini right away. I know Pogba was having a holler, but dude, you're bringing on Fellaini. Like
100%
now, with that move, man, I was in my mind was like, what, we're just gonna lump the ball forward again? Was that what we're gonna revert to, Jose? You know, when we get Under on the bench,
High school
and
football.
unfortunately, high school football, dude. But apparently, I've heard it was his groin. I've heard it was his knee again. As far as injuries for Fellaini, that's why he came off after 7 minutes. He looked distraught. He looked pissed off right down the tunnel. And I feel for him, man, because I've come to like the guy. I liked him on Everton, but as a United guy, I've come to appreciate him for who he is. It's not what we need, but I appreciate him for who he is.
Sorry, Al, they're saying he's going to be out for a couple of months. So this is a pretty big setback for a Mourinho guy.
Yeah, look, I hope it's real. It's in Mourinho's wheelhouse to bullshit about this kind of stuff. I only find it a little bit suspicious because as soon as who took that shot? I think Kane took that shot like point blank, and De Gea saved it with his chest, or was it Eriksson? Maybe even Ali.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was
Right
I think
after
it was Phil Jones when he roofed it top right for his own goal.
All right, cool. That was very helpful. Mourinho waved, aggressively to Anda, who was warming up, and Rashford already had his shorts off. So I think it might be a combination of both, but I wouldn't be surprised if 80% of the reason was because Fellaini wasn't doing the job he was expected to do. Rough, man. Spurs.
But props to Spurs, man. We already said it before, man. Dominant in the second half. United could barely get the ball over the half line. Davis and Sanchez proven, him back in the squad really makes a big difference for this team. Guy's class. Eric Dyer, your boy Tiki, holding it down the middle. Even he looked nice, man.
Yeah, he did.
Dembele. I was most impressed with Dembele.
Yeah, man. I saw him get a card early, and I was like, yes, perfect. We're gonna run at him, and nope, not an incident after that.
But look, I mean,
come on.
Okay, no, I thought he was gonna go. So United, they're gonna need somebody because honestly, if you look at the next month and a half, if Fellaini's injured, I know they got Sanchez, but at the same time, they face in Huddersfield, which is gonna be tough. Newcastle, that'll probably be pretty easy. But then you got Sevilla, Chelsea, Crystal Palace will always be tough. Then you got Liverpool, then Sevilla again. So you have some really hard matchups between the end of February and
Dude, what
early
are you talking
March.
about? Huddersfield and Crystal Palace are tough.
Huddersfield.
I know
Crystal Palace.
Dude, it's Liverpool. All right, Swansea. All right, relax. I know we lost to Huddersfield early in the season. I know you're gonna bring that up. I know we lost to them.
So how am I ridiculous for saying that?
It's not a tough game. It's a game we should win.
Should.
Yeah,
Every game in the EPL is tough.
This game, Al has the should game.
No, look, Huddersfield comes in
for a team that's only lost 4 games. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say Huddersfield has lost 4 in a row. It's looking bleak. They're showing that that they don't have the legs for a full Premier League push yet. Now
they're on the slide.
Just like every team, it could be a bogey. But if you're a betting man, Huss, Man United win on Saturday or lose. Like that's all we're looking at it as. We're not sitting here saying gonna be easy. There are no easy games in the EPL. We know, we get it. But when Swansea beats Arsenal, that's an upset, right? Because we knew it should have been an easy game for Arsenal.
But it's still one of those games because Huddersfield has already had success against United that you kind of have to rule.
It's even tougher for Huddersfield, because you just lost. So now they're like,
and Man United is not going to underestimate them.
Isn't going to under Herrera.
They're not going to under Herrera them because they already lost to them once. It's
and
like
he doesn't play.
Came back.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Where it's just one more person off the bench that Jose might need because how many times again
McTominay.
They go down. No, what I'm saying is they go down and then you put Fellaini on and they just hit it forward. I mean, that's how they got some points against Liverpool this year and last year, whatever.
Yeah, that's how Arsenal got points against United by hoofing it to Giroud. You play your best weapon, man. If you think it's hoofing it, how are you too proud to get 3 points? No one's too proud for that. Is it pretty? No. Is it what I grew up watching? Hell no. But
what I'm saying is if he's injured, he's plan B for United. If he's injured, who's plan C?
We're gonna go to plan C, man. Figure it out. I don't know.
All right. Enough United.
And then Spurs, they got a case of the Liverpools where we started with Real Madrid. They did Real Madrid, and then they went away. And then Spurs against United. Are they gonna be the same Spurs next week or this weekend? You don't know.
I think they might be because they're playing Liverpool. That's it. If they were playing Swansea, I'd be like, you never know. But I don't think they'll be too busy celebrating the United win, knowing they have an Anfield game coming. Let's go to this team.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead, Tom. Let's wrap it up.
Spurs just better hope Harry Kane stays healthy. If Harry Kane goes down injured, they are done. Agreed. They're out. They're going to finish 6th.
Man City cruising. There's not much to say about these blue fuckers. They beat West Brom 3-0. And what looked like was going to be a bit of a challenging game ends up being a TCB. KDB just being KDB, man. It's so freaking annoying.
Ended up being a KDB. That's exactly what it was. Goal and an assist for Kevin De Bruyne. Oh, my God. Inch perfect passes.
Every time.
This guy, man. I'm telling you, he's the best midfielder in the world. Toni Kroos is really close. He's really close. But Kevin De Bruyne, with the attacking quality he has, he just, I think, edges him a notch.
Should have had 2 goals.
Yep.
The one he went up the right side, then he kind of shanked the shot a little bit. Kevin De Bruyne, you're putting money on him for putting that at least on net with power.
Agreed.
There's not much more to say about City because
it's kind of depressing. I like talking about them because they're just winning so much. They're winning so much, man.
Are you guys finally gonna say that it's City's league?
Dude, when have I not said that?
I don't know. I said that back in October.
Yeah, you
Oh,
did.
And you guys went after.
you
guys went
and
after me
half
for
the
it.
world said
You-
that.
No,
Oh, but
no,
you said
no,
it too.
no, 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 no. Because
No,
you
I'll give
guys
you all the
jumped
credit. You said it
all.
first.
You guys jumped
said it
all.
first.
We did. We did.
Hussy, no,
Yes.
Tiki, Hussy, this is
No, we did.
This is because you're never
you
in the
did.
race.
Come on.
Because it's because you never have a horse in the title race, and you always go, "Oh, no, City's gonna win it." Oh, because it's not your team. If your team's in second place,
dude,
man,
Dude, stop
you hold
trying
out.
to
You have
flex,
some
man.
hope.
No, stop
Deflect.
trying to flex.
You called it the earliest on the show, but don't act like we called you crazy. What we said, we're
Yes, you
not
did.
jumping in that. No, we said we're not jumping in that boat with you. Didn't say you were crazy.
There's like the
I
fourth time I brought
specifically
it up.
remember saying no. I specifically remember saying, Huss, I'm not ready to say it's City's league, but I'm not going to sit here and say it's not.
I'm still a no.
They were up like 9 points at that time, cruising, dude. Maybe even 11 in October. I'll admit, I didn't. You predicted it first. There's no question, no doubt about that. Huss called it way back when.
No, but I'm not
To Al's
saying
point. It wasn't this brave call. They're already up, I think, comfortably, like 8
He's
points.
pulling the
and
Charlie
looking
Austin,
really
the old
delicious.
Charlie Austin. Oh, he scored a hat trick in the past 2 weeks. Oh yeah, no, he's on fire now.
he was on fire last week.
I
Last year when they played him, he scored.
Get out of here. Get out of here, Buzz.
Huss, you did jump on it early, but
Oh,
it was a pretty safe boat. You weren't jumping on the
Don't worry.
Titanic.
Don't worry. I saved you guys a seat on the train.
Why don't you drive your bus around the block?
Dude, Aguero with that classy chip to make it 3-0. Thank God I had him captain. But dude, that angle with the pressure, with the goalie coming out to like chip at that, like this dude, unbelievable finisher, clinical.
Let's not go there.
All right, that's enough about City, man. Sterling 2 assists, just to shout him out. Fernandinho getting involved in the goals as well. That's gross, man. When you're
By the way,
six,
about Sterling, this is the first season he's been involved in 20 goals in one season. So he's having a career year.
this is
You got to give the manager some props.
Well, he's not scoring from outside 12, so I'm not ready.
So his
to give him
confidence
props
is at a 6, I think, out of 10.
But the goals you're scoring are usually like 7s out of 10s because they're like happens.
Yeah, he scored with his head.
Positioning.
So.
His positioning and his willingness to run forward and get in those positions, man. He's becoming, dare I say, clinical in the box. You know, when he has a chance, and maybe not first timers, but as far as his positioning is clinical, not his finishing, but his positioning is clinical. And dude, his change of pace, his speed in the midfield, I can't wait to watch this guy for England at the World Cup. And I want this guy to light it up at this summer. You know, really make a name for himself.
Even his decisions, man. With that second goal that KDB got, he drew the goalie out. Could have taken that shot. You know, that Pep rule of, okay, you're going to take a 70% chance, or you're going to lay it off and take a 90%. And he lays it off to De Bruyne for an open net shot, man. It's that kind of magic. That's team chemistry. You can't really teach that. Guys are playing in rhythm, understand each other, and want to make each other look good. City's unstoppable this year. Now, I'm curious to see how they do in the Champions League. Let's see if they can transfer this form. I know they'll have the ability and they'll be City, but like, can they get that luck that you sometimes need to get through to like the semis? We'll see, man. It's going to be exciting. Another team that's choking on some Arsenal going down 3-1 to Swansea in what was a monsoon, dude. Man, EPL don't give a damn. Games go on.
Hold on. Everybody smile. Everybody smile. Hey, good. Let's go. Phil Jones, let's go.
Not funny, bro. We have our very own Phil Jones, bro.
You have like
he's a
midfielder.
midfielder.
Phil Jones.
Granite Xhaka, Doug. Granite Xhaka, man. He's the Phil Jones of Arsenal, bro. I swear, son.
You were raving last week about this guy.
Yeah,
no, I wasn't raving. I just said I'm glad he had a good game and he got a goal.
Okay, this kind of brings me to something with Arsenal.
Name of my squad, bro.
We saw them change out their whole offensive. They kept Ozil, but they got rid of Sanchez. They got rid of Giroud. They got rid of Walcott. They got rid of Ox. All these players, and they brought in Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang. What have we been saying about Arsenal for years? It's the same thing with Liverpool. Your defense and your keeper need to be improved, and you switch out your whole offense.
I mean, Brett, I did not like this game from the beginning. First 10 minutes, I could tell. Look, it rains pretty much every week in the EPL, but the rain was heavier than usual. I just saw it was away from home. Arsenal's track record away from home is pathetic this season. I believe we only have 3 wins away from home. So I knew it was going to be a tough game right from the get-go. Ozil managed. We scored a goal against the run of play, man, because Swansea really was the better team for pretty much the entire game. Ozil getting himself an assist to Nacho Monreal. I thought that would lift their spirits a little bit, but I mean, the shit goal to give up, the one with Mustafi to Petacek, that it's those kind of things where like you can't look at the manager, you just have to look at the players, the concentration level. Mustafi, in my opinion, was a little bit too casual. And Petacek, I mean, for the veteran he is, to make such a rookie mistake, you can't really do much about that, man. Granit Xhaka making errors as well. So this game, we lacked focus. This was the game right before the Aubameyang transfer was made official. And Mkhitaryan did, get introduced into the game. So he managed to make his debut. So I think maybe mentally, the team just was not ready, man, with the transfers things going on and just being away from home, losing Alexis Sanchez and all this type of stuff. So I just think Arsenal, we just weren't ready, man. We're not ready this game, but you have to give props to Swansea, man. They've been giant killers. They destroyed Liverpool last game. Now they destroy Arsenal this game. Got to give them props.
But we were saying the exact opposite about Arsenal after they sold Alexi. They sold Alexi after they lose to Bournemouth 2-1 away. They smoked Palace 2-1, beat Chelsea well in the League Cup 2-1. Mm-hmm. And that was all post Sanchez. And you guys were playing well. You guys were looking well. Ozil clicking, slipstream passing, and I know Swansea's on the rise, man, coming off a big win against Liverpool, so they get that momentum and everything. But it's shocking, and I think the Petacek gaff, the howler he had on that back pass, I think that was the catalyst. That was the nail in the coffin, man. There's no way back after that.
I mean, but you also have Mohamed El Nene starting in the middle for you. So, and then also you got Kolasinac on the bench. You got Maitland-Niles on the bench, and then you have Monreal scoring. So it's almost like you have three good left backs.
Yeah, we do.
You need a couple center backs, and then you need someone in the middle of the pitch for you.
Look, I agree, man. But you're starting Koscielny and Mustafi, like a German international, French international. I know Koscielny's getting a little bit older, but we know that. Yeah, like you said, man, Arsenal defensively were frauds.
Mustafi's suspect for me this year, man. That third goal where he let Ayew just basically turn that corner, and instead of trying to slide it for a corner, he tries to hook intercept, which then means he passes it into Klukas' path. That kind of like basic stuff, man. That's shocking. That's not Mustafi's first error. I'm not going to sit here and say he sucks. I'm not taking it that far, but for the rest of the year, I'll be watching this guy close, man, because he's creeping up comfortably on that suspect list.
To be a little bit more specific, the goals Arsenal concede or have mostly conceded this year, I would say that they've been given. So, Ozil loses the ball in his own half, trying to dribble in a right-back sort of position. Granit Xhaka, a lot of the times this season, just misplaces passes, lots of loose passes, give the ball away in our own half. Errors like that Mustafi thing, he was trying to track back. He didn't really want to foul Ayew in the box, so he went for a pussy-ass little tackle. Again, gives the ball into Klukas, who bagged himself a brace. So a lot of the errors are given to the opponents, and that's I think, a lack of focus and concentration.
I agree 100%, man. I guess the Arsenal faithful, the diehards are going to be coming out in swarms now after a result like this, having lost Sanchez. I think it really helps that you guys were serious this year about your transfer business. It's really weird. There was so much activity in January. It rarely happens like this, but all kinds of clubs upgrading and downgrading. But I think you'll have enough to still make that top four push. But this defense, man, they got to clean it up. You threw in Chambers at some point, not in this game, but like during the season. He's struggling to find his feet. Who's your other guy? The young kid. It's Chambers.
Rob Holding.
He's struggling a bit. And I don't think these guys suck or anything. I just think it's just so hectic in that back line, the communication and a lot of things that I don't think is a good environment to learn in, right now, because it's just so messy back there, man. But
yeah, just a quick little odd story that's come up here is that the Premier League is investigating the celebrations of their players. Allegedly, there have been claims that the players are promoting degrading pornographic videos Sam Klukas had the celebration. If you can't see it, it's that little okay, sign. If you're typing in the phone, it comes up with your three fingers up and your index finger and your thumb connected together. So this has been, I guess, one of the ones that have been deemed to be spyable on. So we'll see how this comes out.
What are they saying that is?
Yeah, looking in the butt.
Yeah, I guess it's something to do with an asshole or
what?
So if you're into that kind of porn,
like kaleidoscope.
That is great.
Yeah.
I hope that's true, man. That's freaking hilarious.
Well, look, actually, it's there's a neighborhood. It's called the Simply Lovely Lay Brotherhood website. So and they have that little celebration with the finger over the eye and all that. So it's a little bit of an odd story, but just a little something quirky to get into.
Fun fact. Thank you, Tom.
Huddersfield 0, Liverpool 3. Liverpool back on the horse again. A very solid victory for them as they prepare to play Spurs. Bussington, your boys look good.
You know what? When it came down to it, it didn't feel as comfortable before the second goal as it should have. I mean, Emre Can, he had quite the shot. I mean, it got deflected, but at the same time,
that extra hate.
It got deflected, but still, he hit it. He hit it low with power and found its way to the end.
Got deflected and went in.
That's fine.
Huss, real quick, Huss. Should Emre Can stay at Liverpool or should he go to the old lady Juventus?
I mean, as a Liverpool fan, obviously, I think he should stay. I can tell you every reason why he should go, but I mean, I want to see him stay.
That doesn't sound like you want to see him stay.
No, I truly do want to. I want to see him stay because with Henderson's injuries, with Henderson's injuries, Can should be starting next year, or at least be starting a lot more than he has, and he's been improving so much every year in Liverpool.
Don't answer the question as a fan. Please answer it as if you were Emre Can. Objectively, what would you do for your career if you're Emre Can?
I think I would stay for the fact that I don't know if I would start at Juventus, and I don't know if I get as much money at Juventus. And with what Liverpool and Klopp are doing right now, it's looking like they'll be hopefully in Champions League next year. I know with Juventus, you're pretty much guaranteed Champions League and a good shot at winning the Serie A. But I mean, it depends on what he wants to do. Does he want to try to make something, or does he just want to hop on a bandwagon? That's the player.
Well done. Give us a rundown now, son.
So during the game, at first, it's the same old. Once they get the ball past the midfielders, the front three can do what they do. But without Coutinho in that midfield, it almost seems like there's a much bigger gap now between the midfield and the wingers and Firmino. Firmino will come back. I don't even know what he is. He could be a false nine. I don't even know. He just kind of, at one point I saw him playing right back, and he made an awesome play. But that's where they really need to improve. They need that playmaker in the midfield because if they keep relying on Salah and hoping and praying that Firmino will keep up this form and then Mane will kick into gear, Liverpool's not. I don't know if Liverpool will get into Champions League if they keep up that method.
One of them goes down, and it's going to be tough, man.
Yeah,
it'll definitely be tough.
I know Oxlade is doing pretty well. With Wijnaldum, they're pretty solid, but at the same time, it's the same thing that we saw last year. They need that one extra play that shows that little star quality. I think.
Yeah, you need that class. You know who you could potentially go for if you want to make that money purchase, and I don't know if Liverpool is still in that business of spending big transfer fees. James Rodriguez.
Oh, I would totally be into that. That'd be great. I don't know if he wants to go to Liverpool, but I think he'd be great. The way he passes would be outstanding for Salah, Mane, Firmino, all those guys.
And he'd have that long shot. Yeah, that long shot that Coutinho is developing.
And you know what? That could happen next year because if Emre Can does leave, they might try to fill that gap with him, and they do obviously have money. But getting back to the game, you got Firmino with a class goal again. Oh my Lord! Going up that goal line, looking towards the center of the box, and just
was that class though?
Yeah,
was that goalie
kissing the
giving up his near post?
That was kissing the front post. near post and sending it in. That was class, dude. To look off the goalie, to get that space, and then to put it in, that was nice.
That was one of those. If you score, you get mad props. If you don't score, you're a selfish pig.
Yeah, but with Firmino right now,
but he scored it, so
give him his props. I think he scores. Firmino is turning into the striker that Liverpool fans really have desperately wanted. I mean, he's not going to show everyone that all he can do is score goals, and he may not win the Golden Boot, but at the same time, he can hold up the ball. He runs out of space and creates space for other players so well. I mean, a lot of those goals that Salah gets, it's because Firmino draws defenders away from him to go 1v1. The way he passes, everything that Firmino has, he's a true player. But I mean, it's almost like, I wouldn't say he's a master of none, but he's a very, very good at a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a master of none.
I don't know. I think he's a master of the stuff that we don't really necessarily look for.
Huss, I think Firmino is evolving in front of our eyes, man. I've always been suspicious of this guy at number 9, talking about Liverpool needs a 9. But as long as they can keep those wings fed and then potentially put someone behind him, I don't see a problem with Firmino leading this weird false 9. I don't even think you can call it a false 9 anymore, dude. Because he's out and out in number 9. He's scoring goals this year. He has 11 goals in 21 games, dude. Like, what more can you expect from a forward? That's a goal every other game he plays in, essentially.
And you know what? Sorry,
I was going to say, I think we're seeing an evolution of a player we disrespected in that 9 position. That might be a reason why they kicked Sturridge out, too. They were like, yo, this number 9 position is set.
He's tied with Lukaku for goals. 5th in the league.
Less appearances, too, man.
Dude, but now with selling or with loaning out from Danny Sturridge, man, if Firmino goes down, I know they got Solanke on the bench, but that's it.
No, I think Sturridge was also kind of cutting that cancer, man. And I don't blame Sturridge because he's not getting any burn. He gets bum time.
It's a World Cup year, guys. It's a World Cup year.
Great shout, Tom.
Same thing with Giroud. That's why we're seeing so many transfers this window. People are desperate to make their national teams for the 2018 World Cup in Russia.
What a shot, bro. That's it right there. Sturridge wanted to get playing time. Poor Joey Hart. He's all fucked up.
Quick shout out to the Liverpool backline, by the way. Now you take out Van Dijk and you get a clean sheet, Hussey. What are the odds of that happening? $76 million million pounds down the drain.
I mean, his first match he scored the winner against Everton. So I mean,
we'll talk about the high points only.
And with that the header that he had, that wasn't just his fault. The one that he went back into the middle of the box, but he was just trying to win the ball in the corner. He just mishit it.
What header? Where did this?
What are you talking about?
What header did this come? What game was this?
Wasn't that was Swansea when he won the header off the corner? Yeah, he went to the middle and
you gotta specify that, Huss.
Yeah, bro.
Last game.
Yeah, but you didn't say last game. You just said he won the header. Or like
you in your own head, bro. You're having a conversation.
I thought we had the chemistry where I could just say whatever I wanted. You knew what I was talking about.
We did. The fans probably didn't.
But you know, look, he's gonna.
Let's wrap this one up.
He's gonna turn it up. But the big thing about this game and all the other games this week, this is why it is so frustrating that Liverpool lose to Swansea 1-0. They tie Everton 1-1. They tie Arsenal 3-3. And all those games except Swansea with Everton and Arsenal, they had those games in hand almost. They missed so many chances. And right there, just those 2 games would be 6 points. They would be second place in the league right now if they just could finish off that match.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
And quick shout out to Huddersfield for the 5-3-2 formation. The pyramid, the Christmas tree they had going there. 5 defenders still concede 3. Poor guys.
Yeah, they tried, man. But Hudders, that's what I'm saying. They're a bit on the ropes right now. It's tough for them.
Klopp beating up his old boy. Klopp smacking his boy David Wagner around a little bit.
His best buddy.
A lot of buddies this weekend. Between Pochettino and Jose. What's that?
Beep boop.
Beep boop beep. What's up, everybody? How you doing? This episode of the Podcast FC Show is brought to you by CLNS Media. CLNS Media is an online. Oh, sorry about that. Is an online radio and digital media network which features a full 7-day-a-week broadcast schedule with numerous personalities and celebrities from across the worlds of current events, entertainment, technology, and sports. Additionally, CLNS employs both full and part-time journalists, commentators, and producers from around the world. They utilize its staff members' geography to deliver global news in unique commentary, perspective, and all in written and spoken and visual formats. So if you're deaf or if you're blind, you can listen. If you're deaf, you can read it. They cater to all people. They don't leave anybody out. They're based out of Boston, and they're a credentialed member of the media. They have live on-scene reporters at events such as the Boston Red Sox, Boston Celtics, the Bruins, and the Super Bowl electees, the New England Patriots, and also us, the Pockets FC show. So if you want to learn more about CLNS Media, go online, go to Facebook, type in CLNS Media, go on your Instagram, type in CLNS Media, same for Twitter, CLNS Media /Twitter, or take out your iPhone or Android, the App Store. It's a free app. Just type in CLNS Media, download that stuff for free, man. Start listening. Nick Gelso, much respect, brother.
Love it. Let's run through these games really quick. Everton, Leicester, young Theo doing work, gets himself a brace. Very successful Everton move so far. Assist in his debut and 2 goals next game. Yeah, me too, man. Very happy.
I'm definitely happy for him. And we have to mention Mahrez, absent for this game, screwed a lot of people over fantasy-wise.
Love it.
And he's been reportedly AWOL, MIA, missing in action, did not report to practice after this game as well. So we'll keep you updated with that.
Absolutely, man. Vardy gets himself a penalty. Obviously, rumors going around that Leicester were actually prepared to play with Mahrez, but because of the saga, were caught with their pants down, and that's why they lost.
He wants to go to Man City so bad.
He wants to leave so bad, man. Poor guy. West Ham 1, Crystal Palace 1.
Whoa, young Theo?
What about him? I said him.
Oh, we touched on him.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
He was in the CLNS media read.
Whoa.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I paid attention.
Go ahead.
Pull the house. West Ham 1, Palace /Al Issa's team 1. Tie game here. Not a bad result for Crystal Palace.
No, Willie Zaha quiet, man. He's having a quiet time lately. He needs to light it up. He needs to put the team on his back again. Do what he does best. But West Ham, man, under David Moyes, at home, tough to break down. Defensively sound. But, a solid point for both teams, I think,
Yeah, I think it's a fair shot for West Ham, who, at some point were relegation battling. Obviously, they want to beat teams like Crystal Palace, but Palace, a team that's streaky and can beat anyone on any day, man. That's a fair result, I would say.
And Benteke scored.
Let's get on Benteke. My goodness, he infuriates me. We had him on Fantasy Talk. I was like, oh, he only has 1 goal, 1 assist in the year. It's in the same game. And then he goes 4 games with 3 assists and a goal. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me, dude? Like, honestly, I don't know. It infuriates me.
I'm happy he's finding his feet, finding his form again. I think he's perfect at Palace. Stay there, figure it out. They're playing with Hodgson, so they're playing a bit more direct in that long ball type of system, and it works for him. He's got speedy wingers around him, and Townsend and Zaha. Perfect place for Benteke. I hope he finds more success, man. Southampton 1, Brighton 1 as well. Another tie game here. I smelled this one coming. Brighton, streaky team. Southampton, team without a true number 9, really. I mean, obviously, Long is playing there. When Austin's healthy, he seems to be doing the job, but he's always in and out.
Are you going to hit on Gabbiadini like that, though?
Because Austin's better than him.
Who?
Because my boy's better than your boy. But the thing about Southampton, wow, 18th place. We always no. I'm talking about like Southampton.
Wow,
so dramatic.
In the last 5 years or so, we always see Southampton, top 10, creeping on, Europa League, and now it's like, ooh.
Nice
sound effects by us.
Blown up.
Dude, this could be the year. Southampton, not to get carried away, but honestly, they're only 5 points from 10th. That's 2 wins and they're in 10th place. It's a crazy tight race. The title race is over. You guys want to see drama. watch games like Huddersfield Swansea, dude. It sounds like a garbage game, but these teams are playing for $100 million every single week. Because that's what you get when you stay in the Premier League because of the new TV. Actually, the new TV deal is being announced this month. So that $100 million might turn into 150 because people like us are just consuming on a different level. So the race, man, from bottom, last place, West Brom, sitting on 20 points, and you got Bournemouth in 10th on 28. That's 8 points separating 10 spots, dude. This is a crazy, crazy bottom half of the table.
It's 5 points from 19th to 10th. It's only 5 points. It's 15 to 17 or 20 from first to second. But in the bottom half of the table, man, this happens every single year. Swansea's always down. We got the new guys are promoted. They're doing well. Come Christmas, come January, man, everything flips. All the managers get fired. The new managers come in. They revitalize these sides. Dude, every year this happens. These teams get switched around.
But the difference is this year, we don't have that Sunderland, the team we know, or Aston Villa, a team we know is out. Swansea.
It was Swansea.
We thought we did. It was Swansea.
It was Crystal Palace before that.
But that's what I'm saying.
Now it's West Brom. It's crazy.
Usually there's one team that after December,
Aston Villa,
we know it's over. Sunderland. Swansea was that team until they went back-to-back beating Arsenal, then Liverpool. Dude, they got 6 points. They would have been sitting on 14 points right now. Way out of it, done and dusted. Oh. This is a crazy, crazy year. And they just picked up, sorry to blow the spot, Andre Ayew. Crazy.
The Ayew brothers back together. But let's talk about that real quick, because when we talk about managers being sacked 10 weeks in or so, we always say the managers get the raw deal. But look at it. Everton, they changed managers. They're doing better. Leicester changed managers. They're doing better. Watford and West Ham. They're doing better. Palace, they're doing better. Swansea starting to do better, and then West Brom, no. So I mean, when it comes down,
what do you mean West Brom? Yeah, West Brom got a new manager.
West Brom's out of
Alan Pardew.
No, I know, but I'm saying of the team that got the new manager, who's doing good, who's doing bad. The majority, by a long shot, are doing a lot better now that they switch managers. So as much as we say it's a tough deal for the managers who do get sacked, it's almost as if. I mean, it's not even almost as if the teams made the right choice.
So Liverpool should switch managers.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, we'll just talk to Arsenal. We'll take
Hussy, to your point,
I'm down. I'm down.
Huss, to your point, I agree with you. We always say give managers more time, but I'm more willing to say that to managers in the top 6 or the top 8. When it comes to the bottom half of the table, interchangeable, in and out. You need a Paul Di Canio, someone to get the troops up and going, a man manager, someone to a Harry Redknapp, someone to get the guys out of the basement. But the top 6, man, you need time with those clubs because there's money, there's quality. You gotta have patience. David Moyes, not getting no time. Well, we're not on the quick touch, man. We're in sports theory right now. We're in football theory. Come on, classes already started, man. Where are your books at?
Great shot. Newcastle won. Burnley won. Hosselu missed a penalty here. Absolutely gave me a gang of points for PK save fantasy. This kid, man, he's making noise. He's absolutely making noise.
Joselu?
No,
Joselu.
Sorry.
Hosselu. I think it's a. You drag that J. It's a Hosselu.
Sounds like you're dragging through the mud.
Either way, this one ends 1-1. I know, dude. That was so awkward.
Yeah, that was
horrible, Hus.
That was a fail.
Lands on his face. Lascelles, man, making a name for himself. Young captain. I think he's 23 years old. If not, he's 24. Been captaining Newcastle United all year. Scores the goal for Newcastle. He's got goals in him. He's a center back. He's a little bit aggressive. But, man, he might be a guy to watch next year to see if he can pop and maybe get into like a Leicester or West Ham or somewhere there.
For sure.
Stoke City 0, Watford 0, snooze fest. 7 yellow cards, though. Aggressive game, but a bit of a snooze fest.
Sakiri should have had a goal in this one. He was put in over the top. Of course, he just goes for the was this big bro? Smash bro? What?
Bash bro.
Is it Bash bro, thank you. He goes for the Bash bro finish. I was thinking Super Smash Bros for some reason. He goes for the Bash Bro finish, and he just tries to slam it into the goalie. Could have just picked the corner, son. Pick a corner, put it away. But nonetheless, 0-0 game. And both clubs miss a huge opportunity to take 3 points.
Yeah, man, 3 points hard to come by this year.
I mean, Watford hasn't won a game. Watford hasn't won a game since December 26th against Leicester.
And they're still sitting in 11th place, dude. What a year. What an absolute crazy Premier League year. All right, that wraps it up for our Premier League Match Day 25 review. Match Day 26 coming to you this weekend. But before that, we're going to wrap it up with the January transfer window. Lots of movement. Tom called it out. Brilliant move. I've been scratching my head all day.
Best window of all time. Best window of all time.
Why are there so many people moving? You got a bomber bang move, like major deals going through. Of course, it's a World Cup year.
They pretty much doubled what the record was. The 430 million pounds this January. And that's not even counting the swap of Alexis Sanchez and Mkhitaryan.
Sure.
Right? Because if those two players get sold rather than swapped, we're looking at almost a 500 million pound January.
Bro,
like,
it was
crazy.
It was all stars though. Like
stars were being sold. Coutinho, Van Dijk, Alexis Sanchez, Diego Costa, Aymeric Laporte, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Bakambu, Mkhitaryan, Inigo Martinez, Lucas Moura, João Mario, Olivier Giroud, Ross Barkley. Like the list goes on with the notable names. This to me has been easily the best January transfer window. Absolutely amazing with the amount of big names going to clubs, and it's going to make for a hell of an ending to the season.
Dude, this was like summer. This was a summer transfer window. That's the kind of movement we had, dude. It was absolutely amazing. Let's run through some of the major ones, though. Let's give respect to the probable 2017-18 season champions. Just icing the league, man. Companies in and out of the squad. Pep recognizes that Stones might need a little bit more time as well. Makes a brilliant signing. A guy I've wondered why big teams haven't signed him 2-3 seasons ago. Aymeric Laporte from Athletic Bilbao to Man City. Almost 60 million pounds here. This is how you ice a championship.
Yeah, they hit his release clause, so they left the club powerless to even say no to the negotiations. I mean, this was an absolute brilliant signing because it's rare that you can find a center back who's an A. How many A's are there out there?
Agreed.
Probably just one or two, Sergio Ramos and maybe like a Mats Hummels. Other than that, you have to look for young guys who are maybe B to B- talent who have A potential. Laporte is one of those guys. Rafael Varane is one of those guys. Yep. So we know that defending has died down as the game has transitioned to favor their attacking players. So finding a quality defender is hard, and Pep and Manchester City pull off a surely title-clinching transfer right here.
And he still costs less than Virgil.
Yeah,
so,
dude,
I mean that's Liverpool right there for you. Why wouldn't you go after him instead?
Great shout.
I swear, Pep he's playing FIFA, bro. Pep is playing FIFA, and he's like 7 seasons into career mode. Like, okay, dude, who gets nasty? All right, I'm going to pick this dude up. Look at his team. Everyone's 22, 23.
And the worst part is this kid is 23 years old, which means in 5 years, he's going to have Stones and him partnering up, assuming, Stones pans out. He's going to have Sane, Sterling, and not to mention the guys he's going to pick up between
Jesus,
now and
De Bruyne.
Zinchenko.
He's building a dynasty. This is how a dynasty is built. When Fergie bled through that class of 92, you could see all the young talent coming through, the A-class prime beef talent.
This is what Chelsea could have been. Play your youngins.
I agree.
Play your youngins.
I agree, man. All right, let's not focus on that too much. City beating a dead horse. And a signing I'm proud to say was done here. It's hard to say it, but I gotta keep it real, man. Aubameyang to Arsenal. I truly saw this guy going to Liverpool, especially because Liverpool needed that 9 spot, up until recently. But what a way to silence the critics. You sell Alexis Sanchez, your best player. You bring in Aubameyang.
Oh my God. So happy with this. This has been by far the best transfer window Arsenal has had in the past 10 years. Literally, the past 10 years, man, to bring in Aubameyang, Mkhitaryan. I mean, just those two names alone, star power. Re-signing Mesut Ozil, which was huge, absolutely huge. Now we can, just be confident of the front 3 or 4 going forward. And this was absolutely amazing. This guy's going to bring swag to the team. You know, Pogba's got that kind of charisma. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, I think, has that kind of charisma too. He's taking Thierry Henry's 14 jersey as well. So
that's a heavy number, bro.
It's a heavy jersey to wear. He wore it for like 10 years, and he got shat on for it. So
it was too much for him.
It's just too much. Way too much, man. So I hope Aubameyang comes in and has an instant impact. It's going to be interesting to see how and where him and Lacazette play.
And look, an article came out late last week saying he's officially the fastest player in the world, dude. So to have Ozil throwing those balls over, and then to have Lacazette as well, who's speedy and smart and skillful. Dude, you might have to go to like a 3-5-2 or some kind of 2-man system.
You need a 2-forward system. We're gonna see if Wenger's about this tactical life.
Yeah, let's see it, man. Speaking of tactical life, he lost his massive plan B. Olivier Giroud sold to Chelsea, £18 million. Really weird. Al, I think I saw a comment in there saying to see Giroud in a blue shirt. It was very awkward.
That's what I thought when I saw Alexis Sanchez wearing the United jersey. It seemed like that picture you'd see in FIFA when you just like playing career mode or whatever. It's like it just didn't look right. It's like, wait, what? Is this real life right now?
And Huss, just it's funny you say that. Sanchez is my first pickup after, that first window when I started with Man United season because he was out of contract. Tips for you guys, if you play FIFA 18, you're starting a career mode. Sanchez contract expires, pick him up, as well as Messi. Messi's contract expires, pick him up. Cheap, free transfers.
Well, if we're talking FIFA, then we can talk about Arsenal having 3 left backs, 2 attacking mids, and 2 strikers. Your chemistry is horrible right now, bro.
That has nothing to do with chemistry, bro.
Absolutely
nothing to do with chemistry.
FIFA Ultimate Team. You wouldn't know.
You wouldn't get it, Tom.
No, do I want it? But very interesting thing with Arsenal, Giroud, and Michy Batshuayi. This was a 3-team deal that is kind of rare, but was all dependent upon each other, right? So Aubameyang moving to Arsenal left a void for Dortmund and in central forward. Chelsea obviously have been looking for a forward, and that meant that with Aubameyang coming to Arsenal, there were too many strikers at Arsenal, which made the way for Giroud to move to Chelsea. And then Batshuayi, who hasn't really been getting too much time at Chelsea, then goes on loan to Borussia Dortmund. So I think all 3 teams, it works out for all 3 teams, but it's crazy how these deals were all dependent upon each other.
Yeah, this is an NBA style trade, man. You see these in the NBA all the time.
Yep. You boys are reading my mind 100%. Tom took the thing off my tongue. You took the thing out of my brain.
I didn't take anything off your tongue.
What thing was on your tongue?
Yeah.
What thing was on your tongue?
Hey, rate 1, 2, 3. Who wins? Arsenal probably won. Who's the team that probably gets better? Dortmund or Chelsea with their new striker?
I think both, man. It's Dortmund.
No.
If you have to do Batman, 1, 2, 3.
You got Batman.
Yeah.
No. Dortmund loses only because of Aubameyang. We don't know what's going to happen with Batshuayi, but I'm very happy he made that move. I think Arsenal wins because I think between Giroud, Batshuayi, and Aubameyang's the best. So Arsenal wins. They get rid of a player who was a bit part player anyway. They don't lose a starter. So I think it goes Arsenal, Chelsea, Dortmund.
Yo, so you know how Chelsea just got smashed 3-0 to Bournemouth? They captured a picture of Olivier Giroud smiling on the bench. It's like, yeah, I'm about to get some playing time.
You brought that Arsenal jinx with him, man.
I love it.
Theo Walcott to Everton. Obviously, that was earlier in the window, but we figured we just mentioned that one. And Batshuayi we got into as well. A signing that, man, this could be the biggest underground signing of the year. Lucas Moura to Tottenham for a measly £25 million.
So nervous, bro. I'm so nervous about this signing.
Especially on Tottenham, man. They play high pace. They have attacking flair. They play a bit of joga, not as pretty as Man City or Liverpool at times, but they definitely have that in their game. Now they add speedy Lucas Moura, whose career has been hampered. I'm sure a lot of you guys heard the name, but you're not quite sure if he's about this life. Unfortunately, he went to PSG, a team that turned into Real Madrid, a Parisian Galacticos. So he didn't get much playing time. But this guy has got the pieces, man. He's going to be
Who
dangerous.
sits? Who sits for Spurs?
Son.
So
Yeah,
I don't
he's
like that dude, man. Son's
like
been
that
so
either.
good.
Nah,
Yeah.
but Son's
But
streaky, dude.
it's just
I
more.
like
It's just more
No.
dynamic, man. It's a different
No,
option off
I
the
don't
bench, man. Spurs don't really have an out and out winger type player, man.
Dele-
So it's gonna be a good X factor for them when they need it. You know, you
I'll tell
keep
you,
playing Son, but you bleed more in.
I agree with you guys. Son is first man up, but then next is Dele Alli. Because if
He should.
if you're playing against a team with slower fullbacks, now Spurs have the option of going with their speedy wingers. You can have Son on the left, Lucas on the right, and Harry Kane up top, and the
or
rest
you
will
can
take
even
care
have
of itself.
Lamella and Lucas. You know what I mean? If you really want to change shape, depending on the game. Son, we know,
Yeah.
goes through cold streaks. He obviously gets his 20 goals plus or whatever. There's something about Pochettino and Dele and Pochettino and youngsters. Dele should have been sitting in November, not sitting an extended period of time, but should have been missing games.
Who they're
throughout
gonna
this
replace him
time.
with? Who they're gonna put in? That's the issue. Spurs didn't have that attacking depth, so I think they did. This was a great signing. We'll see how it works out, but I'm nervous for this one because I love Lucas Moura and I hate Spurs.
I don't know. I mean, Son, he's been doing so well. He's tied for 12th in the league with goals with Mahrez, Hazard, and Gabriel Jesus.
Tied for 12th.
Hey,
What kind of stat is that?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Look who he's tied with. Hazard.
Garbage. Yeah, but Hazard shouldn't be there. Jesus has been hurt. He shouldn't be there.
Yeah, but Son didn't play every game starting out.
It's not helping his case, Hus.
Yes, it is.
12 with
How many goals does he have?
players.
How many goals? 6?
He has 8. So I'm saying right now.
Oh, so focus on that. Yeah, he's got 8 goals. That's
It might be.
That's the better pitch.
I'm thinking it might be Eric Dyer. It might be Eric Dyer.
Yeah,
Eric
in
Dyer
certain
what?
games it will be.
They're gonna
Certain
figure
games it
some
will
way
be.
out to keep them. Yeah.
But
Yeah, it'll be Dembele roaming alone by himself. If they're playing a weaker team, of course, you don't need Dyer and Dembele in there.
Lamella, and then I think this is definitely the end of Sissoko.
No, he came on the other day, dude. Cisco.
Cisco.
It's Sissoko.
He's still
Nabisco?
He's still going to be a bench bum, but
Disco.
he'll get his time, man.
Aaron
Aaron
Lennon. Keep going
Lennon.
with the rhymes.
I feel like Tiggy and I are the adults. We're listening to like the two children talk.
Thanks, Tom.
Bruh, with your comment about he's tied for 12th, I think you're the kid, bro.
Aaron Lennon leaves Everton, club he was at for a very long time, joins Burnley. Good for him, man. I hope he gets more burn at Burnley. Obviously went through personal issues for a few years in his career, suffering from depression and other issues. So very happy for him back in football. Burnley will certainly use a guy like him very wisely this year. So
I feel like he got replaced. He got replaced with Walcott going to Everton. I thought at one point they were almost like neck and neck. I feel like they were the same type of player. They're the young, speedy winger type. It's funny how they switch
Upgrade
later on in the careers.
yeah, and then neither one of them really lived up to that hype that they had. You know, so it's kind of interesting. Obviously, Theo's done a lot better, but even still, Theo hasn't lived up to the potential. But
sure.
good for them, man. Good for them. Mangala, Everton, joins Everton from Man City on loan.
Good deal.
Obviously freeing up room for Laporte. Brilliant deal for Mangala. Gets to play, and Man City as well get to see a guy develop at Everton. You know, a solid club playing in the Premier League. Maybe next season he comes on as a better player. Great business. Sturridge, West Brom, loan from Liverpool. Good for Sturridge. Like Tom pointed out, no need to dig into this one too much. World Cup here, Sturridge obviously looking for playing time. Missed a sitter in his debut game. Not even a sitter, open net, kind of tough angle, but should have put that one away. Hopefully he'll improve as he gets more and more burn at West Brom. I feel like I'm just running through all these by myself, guys.
Yeah, just run through them, guys. Run through them. Slimani, going to Newcastle on loan. Very disappointing. Mitrovic making the switch. He gets loaned down to Fulham, who's in the lower league. So, I mean, Slimani disappointing because he arrives a couple of years ago, maybe last year, was it? With like 27.5 million fee at Leicester City. Now he gets sent out on loan. So, very disappointing for him. Most of these moves, man, I think there were low-key moves. These are more like the not as high-profile moves, but they're moves that show you that the quality of the EPL, the money within the EPL.
Except this move, João Mario, a guy who was linked to all kinds of clubs this past summer, plays for Inter, goes to West Ham on a loan deal that could potentially turn permanent. That's insane, dude. West Ham pulled João Mario. How?
But he's been having a rough season with Inter. Yeah, but you're right, Al. It's the Prem. It's the Prem.
Like we were saying earlier, Andre Ayew joins his brother Jordan Ayew at Swansea. Looks like Swansea won't be relegated now with the Ayew Bash Bros.
This is what I'm talking about.
Wilfred Bonny.
Forget about Bonny.
And Mawson, Alfie Mawson, baby.
Yeah, get rid of Bonny. I don't care about him. But Ayew going to Swansea? I was saying that Swansea should buy Jordan before they sold Andre to West Ham. Now I can finally see it. Hopefully I was correct that these two brothers, maybe they have some sort of like internal familyhood, like sharing the same brain type of thing. I want to see these guys in action. Chemistry through the roof, hopefully.
Andy King loaned out to Swansea from Leicester City, hoping to get himself some more burn. A transfer Tom called, and I was, a bit hopeful about Deulofeu going. Last season he was recalled back from his loan at AC Milan to Barcelona.
Yeah, they just forced it.
Yeah, they derailed this poor kid's career. He was doing work at AC, wanted to stay at AC, and now he's at Watford.
And Watford need him, man. They could definitely use him. He whipped in a couple of good balls on the past game they had against Stoke. So it'll be interesting to see how he does going forward.
Yeah, and a guy who should have left Leicester a long time ago, but has been, a journeyman for them, a great servant. Ulloa joins Brighton. I think that's a better level for him. He'll get more playing time as well. Get to compete week in, week out. So very happy for.
That's a second striker that Leicester let go this January. So obviously Ian Nacho really did start impressing during the tournament games. So he's going to get more playing time. So it looks like
maybe big boy Sandro Ramirez.
Hey, that is Hustle's boys. The bet's still on?
They didn't let him go.
No. I'm talking about Leicester. What?
Oh, you're right. Sorry. Yeah. I'm thinking of it.
Yeah, because Leicester had Ulloa and then Slimani leave, and now it's really just Vardy, Okazaki, and Ian Nacho. And there was talk about Ian Nacho really performing during cup games. And look, Leicester's walking the walk with this guy. They brought him in. Hopefully he takes his good performances to the league and really propel Leicester maybe to sixth place, depending on how well Arsenal bounce back.
Settle down.
Settle
down.
Why? Why settle down? Because Arsenal has 42 points and Leicester City has 34. So 8 points.
It's 8 points.
You're in a legal violation right now.
Look, it's even tougher because Mahrez is threatening to boycott, might not play the rest of the season. Or Leicester basically pulling moves like a Payet. Feel very strong about this one. Won't get into it too hard.
About Mahrez, though, real quick, since he got brought up, he allegedly will be fined £200,000 for missing training. So he's in violation of his contract. We'll see how that situation goes, but that's just a quick update.
Yeah, he's on strike.
He's on strike. I don't blame him, man. Leicester priced him out of the market twice, essentially in both windows. So we'll see how it plays out. Ozil signs a contract extension, like we mentioned earlier. Massive news for Arsenal and the Gooners.
Even bigger news.
Alex Song is training with Arsenal?
Yeah.
I don't mind, bro. I don't mind. That's a guy who should have never left. You went to Barcelona too early. You never got time.
You followed his best friend.
Went to shit.
You followed his best friend, Fabregas.
Yeah, they all, and where did they end up? Back in the EPL. So
Alexander Song was nice, man. The friggin' all low sock, low
shorts.
Short team,
high shorts rather.
High shorts. Man,
yeah, you wanted shorts to be low.
He was on number
you?
6.
You wanted shorts on the ground, don't you, Hus? Talking about things on your tongue.
Hey,
he was at number 6.
Forge, man.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that wraps it up for us.
I was gonna say because
you're gonna retort that tongue comment.
No, Alex Song. They say that he's looking for a new club, but don't put it past Arsenal because they did sign Flamini in 2013 when he was out of contract. So maybe Son comes back to Arsenal. You never know.
We need a defensive midfielder.
Oh no, you got Mohamed El Neni.
I like him.
Dude, except
Actually, before we close it up, real quick, who won out of everyone for the transfer?
Manchester United.
Arsenal.
Manchester United. They pip Man City to a guy that could bring them to the next level at a faster rate. And Alexis Sanchez not going there.
Right price.
And we gone for free. Yeah, you get a player like Alexis Sanchez for nothing. I mean, if you're going to equate it to the Mkhitaryan transfer, which was around £30 million. So we paid £30 million for Alexis Sanchez. That's bargain.
I would agree with you, Al, if Arsenal did not sign Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan.
Guys over the hill, and Arsenal are on the way down. So, I mean, get you nowhere.
That's all emotion. That's all emotion.
How about check the league table the last 3 years? You know?
I'm going with Everton.
I got him.
I'm going with Everton. They did really well.
I was just messing up.
Theo Walcott. They got Mangala. They got rid of Aaron Lennon because of. I mean, look, he could be a great guy, but you never know what's going through his head because he had that problems. So he might have brought Everton down in the locker room. So they got rid of that.
Why are you blaming him for that, dude?
No, you don't know. I'm saying you don't know what's going on with that. Dude, so, Everton did well this January.
I say Giroud and Batshuayi won the most. Guys
individual winners.
Yeah. Who lost? Mahrez.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Well, actually,
took that out.
Leicester.
All right, my phone's gonna die at any moment.
Cool. All right, let's wrap this one up. Thanks for listening, guys. It's been real. It's been awesome. Catch us this weekend. Quick turnaround. We got match day 26 EPL action coming at you live. Well, not live, kind of live. Thank you for listening. Appreciate it. We'll catch you next time. Peace.
Deuces.
Later, everybody.
Bye.